Global trade refers to the exchange of goods and services across international borders. It's the reason you can buy coffee from Brazil, electronics from Japan, or clothes made in Bangladesh, no matter where you live. Over centuries, global trade has evolved from simple barter systems to complex networks involving millions of businesses and consumers. Today, it's a vital part of the world economy, connecting countries and creating opportunities for growth. In this video, we'll explore how global trade works, why it matters, and the challenges and benefits it brings to nations and individuals alike. Roots of global trade stretch back thousands of years. Ancient civilizations like the Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans traded spices, silk, and precious metals along routes such as the Silk Road and across the Mediterranean Sea. These early exchanges laid the foundation for today's interconnected markets. As ships and navigation improved, trade expanded to new continents, bringing both prosperity and challenges. The Industrial Revolution accelerated global trade, making it easier to move goods around the world. Today, digital technology and faster transportation have made global trade more accessible than ever. Countries engage in global trade for many reasons. Some nations have resources or skills that others lack, making it efficient to specialize in exchange. For example, rich countries export energy while others focus on technology or agriculture. Trade allows countries to access products they can't produce efficiently themselves, leading to lower prices and more choices for consumers. It also helps businesses grow by reaching new markets. Ultimately, trade boosts economic growth, creates jobs, and fosters international cooperation, making it a key driver of prosperity worldwide. The heart of global trade are imports and exports. Imports are goods and services a country buys from abroad, while exports are what it sells to other nations. For example, the United States imports electronics from Asia and exports agricultural products to Europe. Balancing imports and exports is crucial for a healthy economy. If a country imports more than it exports, it runs a trade deficit. The opposite is a trade surplus. Both have implications for jobs, currency value, and economic stability. Some countries play a bigger role in global trade than others. China, the United States, Germany, and Japan are among the world's largest exporters and importers. Their economies are deeply integrated into global supply chains, influencing everything from raw materials to finished products. These nations set trends, shape prices, and often lead in innovation. Smaller countries also participate, often specializing in niche products or services. Together, these players form a complex web of economic relationships that drive the global marketplace. Trade agreements are deals between countries that set the rules for exchanging goods and services. These agreements can lower tariffs, reduce barriers, and create a more predictable environment for businesses. Examples include the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, and the European Union's Single Market. Such agreements help countries cooperate, resolve disputes, and boost economic growth. However, they can also be controversial, as some industries may benefit more than others, leading to debates about fairness and national interests. Tariffs are taxes on imported goods, often used to protect local industries from foreign competition. Other trade barriers include quotas, licensing requirements, and standards. While these measures can help domestic businesses, they may also raise prices for consumers and spark trade disputes. In recent years, some countries have increased tariffs, leading to trade wars and uncertainty in global markets. Understanding tariffs and barriers is key to grasping the complexities of international trade and its impact on everyday life. Modern products often travel thousands of miles before reaching consumers. Global supply chains link manufacturers, suppliers, and retailers across continents. For example, a smartphone might be designed in the US, assembled in China, and use parts from several countries. These complex networks make goods cheaper and more available, but can also be vulnerable to disruptions, such as natural disasters or political tension. Managing supply chains efficiently is crucial for businesses to stay competitive in the global market. Technology has revolutionized global trade. Advances in transportation, communication, and information systems allow goods and services to move faster and more efficiently than ever before. Online platforms connect buyers and sellers worldwide, while digital payment systems make transactions seamless. Technologies like blockchain and artificial intelligence are making supply chains more transparent and secure. As technology continues to evolve, it will further shape the future of global trade, opening new opportunities and challenges. Getting products from one country to another involves a complex web of logistics and shipping. Goods travel by sea, air, rail, and road, often passing through multiple ports and customs checks. Efficient logistics are essential for keeping costs down and ensuring timely delivery. Innovations like containerization and real-time tracking have made global shipping faster and more reliable. However, challenges like congestion delays and environmental concerns remain important issues for the industry. In trading internationally, businesses must deal with different currencies. Exchange rates determine how much one currency is worth compared to another, affecting the cost of imports and exports. Fluctuations in exchange rates can make trade more expensive or profitable depending on the situation. Companies often use financial tools to manage these risks. Understanding currency and exchange rates is essential for anyone involved in global trade, as it influences pricing, profits, and competitiveness. Global trade can be a powerful engine for development, especially in emerging economies. By exporting goods and attracting investment, countries can create jobs, improve infrastructure, and raise living standards. However, not all nations benefit equally. Some face challenges like limited resources, poor governance, or lack of access to markets. International organizations and trade agreements often aim to support development and reduce inequality, but success depends on many factors, including education, stability, and innovation. Global trade has significant environmental effects. Transporting goods across long distances increases carbon emissions and can contribute to pollution. Some industries, like mining or agriculture, may also cause deforestation or habitat loss. On the other hand, trade can spread green technologies and encourage sustainable practices. Many countries and companies are working to reduce the environmental footprint of trade by adopting cleaner energy, efficient logistics, and stricter regulations. Trade creates jobs by opening new markets for businesses and increasing demand for goods and services. Workers in export industries often earn higher wages and gain valuable skills. However, trade can also lead to job losses in sectors that face tough foreign competition. Governments may offer retraining programs or support to help workers transition to new roles. The overall impact of trade on jobs depends on many factors, including the structure of the economy and the ability to adapt to change. Global trade doesn't just move goods, it also spreads ideas, customs, and cultures. When people buy products from other countries, they often learn about new ways of life, foods, and traditions. This cultural exchange can foster understanding and cooperation. However, some worry that global trade may threaten local cultures or lead to homogenization. Balancing openness with respect for cultural diversity is an ongoing challenge in the world of trade. Disagreements over trade are common, as countries compete to protect their interests. Trade disputes can arise over tariffs, subsidies, or regulations. Sometimes these disagreements escalate into trade wars, with countries imposing new barriers on each other's goods. International organizations like the World Trade Organization (WTO) help resolve disputes and keep trade flowing smoothly. Still, finding fair solutions can be complex and time-consuming. World Trade Organization (WTO) is the main international body overseeing global trade rules. It helps negotiate agreements, resolve disputes, and monitor trade practices. The WTO aims to make trade fairer and more predictable, benefiting both rich and poor countries. However, it faces criticism for being slow or favoring powerful nations. Despite challenges, the WTO remains a key player in shaping the future of global trade. Emerging markets like India, Brazil, and Southeast Asian countries are becoming increasingly important in global trade. These economies are growing rapidly, offering new opportunities for investment and export. As incomes rise, demand for goods and services expands, attracting businesses from around the world. However, emerging markets also face challenges such as infrastructure gaps, regulatory hurdles, and political risks. Their continued growth will shape the future landscape of global trade. A global trade can boost economies, it may also widen gaps between rich and poor. Some regions or groups benefit more than others depending on their skills, resources, and access to markets. Addressing inequality is a major challenge for policymakers. Solutions include investing in education, supporting small businesses, and ensuring fair trade practices. Reducing inequality helps make the benefits of trade more widely shared and sustainable. Rise of e-commerce has transformed global trade. Online marketplaces allow even small businesses to sell products worldwide, reaching customers in distant markets. E-commerce platforms handle payments, shipping, and customer service, making cross-border trade easier than ever. However, challenges like digital security, customs regulations, and logistics remain. As technology advances, e-commerce will continue to reshape how the world trades. Global trade isn't just about physical goods. Services like banking, tourism, education, and software are increasingly traded across borders. Advances in technology make it possible for companies to offer services remotely, opening new markets and opportunities. Trade in services is growing rapidly, often outpacing traditional goods trade. This shift is changing the structure of the global economy and creating new challenges for regulation and competition. Health is closely linked to global trade. Medicines, medical equipment, and vaccines often cross borders to reach those in need. During crises like the COVID-19 pandemic, trade played a critical role in distributing essential supplies. However, reliance on global supply chains can also create vulnerabilities such as shortages or delays. Strengthening health-related trade is vital for global well-being and resilience. Security concerns are an important part of global trade. Countries must protect supply chains from threats like piracy, cyber attacks, or smuggling. Governments and businesses invest in security measures to keep goods safe and ensure smooth operations. International cooperation is essential to address risks and maintain trust in the trading system. As technology evolves, new security challenges will continue to emerge. Global trade encourages innovation by exposing businesses to new ideas, technologies, and competition. Companies must constantly improve to stay competitive in international markets. This drive for innovation leads to better products, services, and processes. Trade also helps spread new technologies and best practices around the world, accelerating progress and development. Politics and trade are closely linked. Governments set trade policies, negotiate agreements, and sometimes use trade as a tool of diplomacy or pressure. Political tensions can disrupt trade flows, while cooperation can open new opportunities. Understanding the political context is essential for navigating the global marketplace and anticipating changes in trade relationships. Small businesses are increasingly participating in global trade, thanks to digital platforms and improved logistics. Exporting allows them to reach new customers and grow beyond local markets. However, small firms often face challenges like limited resources, complex regulations, and competition from larger companies. Support from governments and organizations can help small businesses succeed in the global marketplace. Consumers benefit from global trade through greater variety, lower prices, and access to products from around the world. Whether it's fresh fruit in winter or the latest electronics, trade makes it possible. However, consumers also play a role in shaping trade by demanding ethical, sustainable, and high-quality products. Their choices influence what businesses produce and how they operate. Sustainability is becoming a key focus in global trade. Companies and countries are adopting practices that protect the environment, conserve resources, and support fair labor. Sustainable trade aims to balance economic growth with social and environmental responsibility. Certifications, regulations, and consumer awareness are driving this shift toward greener and more ethical trade. Future of global trade will be shaped by technology, shifting economic power, and changing consumer preferences. Automation, artificial intelligence, and digital platforms will continue to transform how goods and services are exchanged. Emerging markets will play a larger role, and sustainability will become even more important. Navigating these changes will require adaptability, innovation, and international cooperation. Global trade connects people, businesses, and countries in ways that shape our daily lives. It brings opportunities for growth, innovation, and cultural exchange, but also presents challenges like inequality, environmental impact, and political tensions. As the world continues to change, global trade will remain a dynamic force, requiring ongoing adaptation and cooperation. By understanding its complexities, we can better navigate the opportunities and challenges ahead.